Good morning. Good morning, Nigeria. Happy independence, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Please, could you shut that door? Good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome to Up You with Ezine. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning. Today's episode is just you, myself, and I. Amazing. And the topic is, what does independence mean to you? What does independence mean to you? Today is a good day to be trying out a new streaming platform. And so, yes, please come in here. Hello, my people, come in here. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day. Welcome to Up You with Azine, the space where we rise, reflect, and refocus. Yes, today, Nigeria turns 65. Or let me rephrase, today, Nigeria is 65 years old. And while the flags are flying and the parades are rolling, we're pausing to ask, what does independence truly mean to you? Is it freedom of thought? Is it financial stability? Is it the courage to raise children with values? Or is it simply the power to shape your own future? Sincerely, I want this show this morning to be very interactive, a true conversation, because your voices matter. What is independence without the citizens? So, if you like to share live, connect with me. I'll put you up and then you share. And you can also drop your thoughts in the chat. I'll be reading them as we go along. My name, as always, is Ezine Kufure Ekanem, and this is your show. Welcome, welcome. We're live on Instagram, on YouTube, and also on Facebook. So, no matter the platform you love, the one you prefer, we're there. We've got you covered, and we want you to be part of the show. So, please log on at Up You with Ezine on any of the social platforms and be a part of this live. And while you're at it, please get in other women and men this time, because we are all part of this nation, and so that we can have this conversation. You're very welcome to my stream. Very welcome to my stream. It's so good to see every single one of you. So, you see, when we talk about independence, most people think about freedom from colonism or colonization in 1960. Well, let's bring it home. I mean, 1960, many of us weren't even born then. And this is 2025. This is 65 years later. So let's bring it home. Let's talk about um, presently. Let's talk about it in the present terms, not according to the history books. You know, are we really free if our young people cannot dream without fear? Are we truly independent if families cannot afford basics like food and healthcare? And what about us as individuals? Do we feel free to live authentically, or are we still trapped by expectations, culture, or fear? What exactly does independence mean to you? Yes, you were told that, oh, we're colonized by the British people. And in 1960, oh, there was amalgamation and there was this and there was that, and we got our independence. It's been 65 years. So, what does independence mean to you? What does it mean for you? What does it mean for your children, for your business, for your life generally? That's what we're talking about this morning. So please come on in here. Remember, you're welcome to this stream, and I need your participation. And we want you to ask your questions, and we want you to put your answers. Please drop them, read them, and I will read them, and then we can actually, talk about them. So I need you to be a part of the show. Okay? So, my first question to all of us is, what does independence mean for you? Thank you very much, Chidima. I see what you've written. She says, for me, independence means being able to speak my truth without fear. For Chidinma, independence means being able to speak her truth without fear. Like they say in Nigeria, you have freedom of speech. What we don't know if you will have is freedom after speech. So, yes, Chidinma, this resonates as well with me, being able to speak your truth without fear. Okay. Someone whose name is not showing, a couple of symbols, says, independence is when my children have access to quality education without me begging or bribing. Hmm. Yeah, now that's a thing. When your children have access to quality education without you begging or bribing, it's amazing. It beggars belief, really, what parents have to go through to get admission or education for their children and all of that. And we know better because most of our kids are out there in other countries, and we do know that you don't bribe nobody, you don't beg nobody. It's strictly on merit. And systems work, you know. So I'm not one for bashing the nation. I'm one for speaking about things so that we can all ask ourselves the pertinent questions and then resolve to do better. Thank you very much. Yes. Um, Toke says true independence is financial, being able to feed my family without depending on handouts, especially in this economy that we are currently navigating. That could also be true independence for someone. The ability to feed the family without depending on handouts, no asking for urgent 2Ks and all of that. Yeah, okay. So please keep it coming. There's a funny one here. Independence is independence. I just wake up on October 1 and I know it's independence. Okay, all right. We're trying to bring it home. We're trying to drive it down. We want you to own it. We want you to understand why you need to be independent, why you need to celebrate independence for yourself. You see, a nation is not a nation without its citizens. It's not possible. If there was a land or geographical area called Nigeria and nobody inhabited it, it wouldn't be a nation. Nigeria is a nation because you and I are citizens of this country. And so, if the citizens do not feel independent, the nation itself may just be um, celebrating a symbolic sham that hasn't done anything for anyone. So that's why we're drilling it down so that we can own it. Because when you understand the thing, then it's easier for you to be able to interpret it in ways that make sense to you, wrap your head around it, and be able to, go ahead, thrive, and live and become. Yeah, interesting stuff. So whether it's a national or personal, goes deeper than we think. That's the truth. So whether it's on a national scale, whether Nigeria itself as an entity, as a country is celebrating independence, or whether the citizens are celebrating independence, independence goes way, way deeper than we think. And today we'll break it down into three lenses. Today I'm going to be looking at independence from three lenses: personal, family, and then national. You know, personal, family, and then national. Welcome to my stream again. You're very welcome. It's so good to have you uh, on the stream this morning. I hope you're enjoying it. Please give me feedback on the quality of the stream because we're testing out a new platform because we want to come to you better, faster, sharper, and we want to reach you on every platform where you are at. We want you to be a part of this conversation always. So I need your feedback to enable us know whether this streaming platform is better than the last one that we had. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I see you. Thank you. Please let me know what you think. Okay, so going on, let's start with you, my dear listener. Let's start with you. Personal. Personal. Let's start with what independence truly means to you. Personal independence, what does it mean to a woman? What does it mean to a man? What does it mean to a young person in today's Nigeria? You know, many of the people, majority of our population right now, we're not even born. in 1960. So for them, it's like telling tales, history book. So that's why we're asking this question this morning. What does it mean? For some, it's about financial freedom, earning without begging, like we saw. For others, it's about mental freedom, breaking away from fear, stereotypes, or trauma. For me personally, independence has often looked like choosing to keep showing up even when life tries to press pause. That's what I would say. That for me, independence looks like choosing to show up even when life looks like it's trying to press pause for you. You say, no, I came here on my own terms and I'm going to keep showing up. So let's hear you. What does personal independence mean in your journey? Especially for the ones who were not born in 1960, who do not know about colonization. If you were born, let's say, 18 years ago, what does personal independence mean to you? What should it mean to you? It's amazing that in our 65 years of existence, or having independence, 65 years now, our children are yet to begin to pilot the affairs of the country. We still have nearly, you know what I mean? So when will the youths really take over? When will they contribute to nation building? When exactly? Because the way it's going, majority of us, all our children, we've sent all our children abroad to go and study. And like my friend says, he says the generation in transit, they've all, educational system wasn't working for us. So we send them to go and study abroad. Now the thing is, it doesn't look like they're coming home soon. So we have delivered children that we may have lost. Mm. So there's a huge gap. And I'm not sure that they're coming home to do youth service. There's a huge gap. And if they're not coming home to do youth service, it means they cannot vie for any elected office. They're not joining politics. The gap widens. So it therefore means that we're on a long thing. We're on a long thing. It therefore means that it is the children in the public schools today, the children that are back here in Nigeria, are the ones that are going to, if ever, become the leaders of tomorrow. What does independence mean for them? Because right now, what we are seeing is same old of same old. You just wake up, you grow up, you want to struggle to join the elite group, and then you end up doing of the same old stuff. So when are we going to define independence for ourselves in another way that makes sense to us? That is my question this morning. If you're on the stream, please let's have your contribution so that this um, episode can be very interactive, like I said. So somebody says, for me, is being able to choose my career path without pressure from family. Yeah, we thrive in saying we're Africans. You know, we want to be mama lawyer and mama engineer. So we pressure our children to go and do what they may not be interested in doing, but what will bring us the prestige amongst the people at the table where we belong. So we ask them to go and do A, read B, that they may never use nor practice with at all. So, yes, I can understand that. I can understand you saying it's being able to choose your career, and someone says is being able to independence for me personally is healing from past mistakes and not letting them define me. That's very brilliant. And that's not just even for you, that's something that Nigeria itself should do, because we need to heal from our past mistakes, and we need to redefine ourselves again for ourselves as a people, you know, taking into cognizance the we're just is going to come. Yes, we're back on. So the infighting and everything, so it's almost as if we're not one family, one nation, one people connected. So we need to look at that again. So, and heal from our past, and then understand why we're together, why we're a nation, and then work together going forward purposefully. 65, yes, but then it's not too late to unlearn, to relearn, and start to move forward. We've been static for a long time. We've just been sitting there, you know. Someone says, "Oh, brilliant, Caleb." Caleb says, "As a young man, personal independence is being able to rent my own place." I know, right? Everybody wants to do that. My daughter once said something to me that you're fully never independent in Nigeria. Because you see, whatever you think is your decision, your parents must butt in, your siblings will butt in, and all of that. I do appreciate it. I can imagine that, yeah, you want to be able to rent your own place. The truth of the matter is that personal independence is where it all begins, because if you're not free on the inside, it's hard to contribute meaningfully on the outside. Why do we have all these systemic errors? Why do we have all the issues that we have? Kidnapping, bribery, corruption, this and that, envy, wickedness in high places and low places as well. Why do we have all these things? See, you don't have to go very far. All you have to do is open social media any day and you will just see it glaring, just there. All the things that are wrong with this country. Nobody needs to tell you. Why do you think it's so? It is because there is something fundamentally wrong with us. We haven't evaluated ourselves. We haven't understood why we're here. We haven't realized that we are the people who make up the nation. And so if we persist in walking wrong and doing wrong, the nation cannot be right. The person who is kidnapping people is most likely a Nigerian. The person who is going to sit on your file in any ministry is most likely a Nigerian. The person who is going to ask you for bribe is a parent who thinks that taking that bribe from you will help him or her pay school fees or hospital bills for an ailing child or something. But we need to come to a point where we say to ourselves, these things that we do hurt us. Because the person you're extorting from will extort from somebody else. The person you've kidnapped and sent the family down the rabbit hole to bring all kinds of ransom to you will perpetually be in debt. The person you refuse to treat will die. The person you're going to rob is in the same situation with you because he's a common person. I mean, look at the young girl that lost her life. Very promising, vibrant young girl. She lost her life. Why? Because thieves came to her compound. I read some of the tweets she made on X and I was very sad. She says, I pray every day that Nigeria will not happen to either myself or my loved ones. And Nigeria finally happened to her. And to think that she voluntarily came home. Home is where you should feel safest. So why do we make our own home, our own country unsafe for citizens? That's why we need to ask ourselves this morning, what does independence mean to you personally? How can you be contributing to the things that are wrong in Nigeria? Check yourself. Then ask yourself again, how can I make it right? How can I change? What one thing can I change today that will help Nigeria move forward? Because you see, we keep talking about our leaders and the political class, but they are not. See, if you don't want to move forward yourself, if you don't move yourself forward, there's no political class that will move you forward. There's no political leader that will move you forward. Because you see, even if they put, I remember I grew up in the times and days of Kai and why war against indiscipline, where we were being forced to do stuff, we're being forced to do sanitation, we're being forced to stand in line, we're being forced to do everything. The moment that government came to an end, all of that just went south because it wasn't an intentional decision by us to do. Suddenly, we stopped keeping our environment clean. Suddenly, we stopped standing in line. Everybody in Nigeria is suffering from what I call big manism. Everybody wants to tell you how important they are, who they know, and how they know the people. And so they shunt the lines. They walk in with all the paraphernalia and they shunt the lines and go to the front of the line and they think that is what it means to be a big man. These same persons in other climes will join the line. But in Nigeria, no, do you know who I am? And then when you say you don't, they bring out their cell phones and they say, blah, 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 I am here. And da, 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 da. And the person they're calling will not tell them, okay, please be patient. And no, the person will now send people to move them to the front or take them into his own or his or her office and have everything done. We call them privileges, but really, are they? What are we teaching our children who are saying these things? What are we even doing to ourselves? Because when you do these things long enough, you not even think you're doing anything wrong anymore. And anything begins to go. And then you, same you, will sit in a discourse and say, oh, Nigeria is a terrible place. Oh, Nigeria, nothing works. Oh, Nigeria, da da da. Oh, Nigeria, da 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 da. But you just jump the line. Something as simple as that. Or shall we talk about dropping trash from your car? Shall we talk about that? What we need to do are just the very basic little things. Because honestly, in my own life, the way I know it, it is the little things that you do consistently, intentionally every day that ultimately become something huge and you see a shift in behavior. So, just before I wrap up on this personal, uh, what personal independence means, I would like us to, instead of today sitting down and bashing Nigeria and bashing everything, bashing our systems and all of that, I like us to sit down and say to ourselves, how did I contribute to getting here? If you are 18 and above, you should be asking yourself this question. How did I contribute to getting us here? How? How am I cheating the system? If we had a critical mass of people doing the right things, Nigeria will right itself. The problem is that we have a critical mass doing the wrong things, and then the remaining of us are just winging it. And then we say things like, if you live and survive in Nigeria, you should put it on your CV. No. It's time to say wrong is wrong. It's time to say, how am I contributing to this? It's time to say, I'm going to change. Don't think of doing something huge. Start with doing something small. At the conference this year, Ifan put aside something that was very phenomenal. He said, mind the little guy. Mind the little guy. Mind the little guy. There are very few Nigerians who are enjoying Nigeria. There are very few Nigerians who will tell you, oh, they have eyes to see and so they see opportunities. The majority of Nigerians do not see any opportunities. They're wailing. So when we will begin to teach and open the eyes of the rest? Because it's about time. A 65-year-old man or woman is no longer a child. Yes? We're not where we want to be, but we can begin to go there. Yeah? So um powerful, powerful contributions, right? Yeah. Very powerful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very powerful, Charles. Thank you so much. Personal independence is where it all begins. I reiterate. You must get it right yourself to be able to translate it if there is no personal conviction, there's no understanding of what independent means to you, then it will be very difficult for you to go out there and champion national independence. First of all, go and do it. Go and do it. I posted something yesterday on, was it yesterday? I posted something yesterday on my Facebook page. Let me see if I can find it very quickly and read it to us. I said, um, I said, let's see if I can quickly get it. Um, I said, I said, knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. It's okay to know, but that thing you know, are you applying it? That's the question you should be asking yourself this morning. Whatever good you know, are you applying it? It's okay to be willing. I am willing to die for Nigeria. I am willing to work for Nigeria. But that's not enough. It's now time to do. And like I said to someone yesterday, we've prayed enough for Nigeria. I know how many prayer altar I've been on praying for Nigeria. It's time to do. On this 65th independence, it's time to do. Let's take it from um, being willing to doing. Let's take it from knowing to applying. And then we'll see that surely, slowly, but surely, our nation will definitely change. Okay? Now, let's move to the family. In Independence here might mean the freedom to raise your children with values in a culture that sometimes pushes shortcuts. We are just the shortcut nation. I said it, I was talking to my child, I think yesterday, yes, and I said, we are the popcorn nation. We want everything to just put in the microwave, pa, 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 it's popped. Nobody wants to do anything anymore that goes through the normal process and procedure. We just want shortcuts. So when it comes to family, independence might just be freedom to raise children with values in a culture that sometimes pushes shortcuts, or the ability to make decisions without financial or societal pressure. As parents, caregivers, and role models, what does it look like to build an independent family? What does it look like? If you're a parent here today on the stream, of course, please let us know. Independent family. It is so sad. Honestly, it is sad about parenting in a while now. I think for the last 2 weeks, I've been talking about parenting. One, birth a child, do everything within your means to. It is what they see you do that they internalize, that they copy. So when you set out and you're doing something wrong in front of your children, I want you to know that you're teaching them the wrong values. So she gave an example that day and she said, so you're supposed to be somewhere and someone is calling you and you're still in your house and you're telling the person that is calling you, I'm on my way. Yeah, I'm stuck up in traffic. Your child is watching you. What you're doing is teaching your child that it's okay to lie. So, and you know the thing about learning stuff? The person doesn't learn and stay in primary one. So if you taught them how to say you're in traffic when you're at home, guess what? They will say they are they're in London when they're in the village. They will tell a bigger lie. So we need to ask ourselves as parents consciously, how are our actions shaping our children? How are our actions shaping our children? Okay, Fatima says, for my family, independence means not waiting on the government for everything, finding ways to survive and thrive. Now, Fatima is a typical Nigerian because that's what everybody will say. You know, you find that we say, oh, we have become our own governments. We're generating our powers. We're 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 fixing our road by ourselves. We're doing everything for ourselves. And then we say, oh, to survive in Nigeria, it should be a classical act. It should actually be a skill on its own, and it should be on your CV that you live and you survived in Nigeria. So I feel you, Fatma. For my family, independence means not waiting on the government for everything, finding ways to survive and thrive. That in itself, under normal circumstance, is what it should be. Government can't do everything though. We as citizens have to pull our own weight and do our own bit. The fact is that I don't think we truly do love Nigeria. Everyone is looking for what they can take out of the country and not what they can give to the country, not how they can make it better. The few of us that are thinking of how to make it better are so few and far in between and in different silos that our efforts, it doesn't even look like any efforts are being made because the the negatives far outweigh the positives. And so the news is not cheery, it's not, we are not happy, it's not uplifting yet. But the critical mass needs to rise up and needs to do a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So someone says it's about teaching my children responsibility early so they don't grow up entitled. I have this thing about buzzwords. Um, in every season, some words just come up, entitled, entitlement. We need to be careful how we throw them. We need to be sure what it truly means and how we use them. But yes, I do understand you. We have to teach our children responsibility early so that they don't grow up entitled. Um, I would say that we need to also put in place checks and balances. If somebody does something, let there be a reprimand and let there be a commensurate action taken against it. What happens is that people do stuff that are wrong, and then we just say we let it slide. I'll give you an example. Um, so your child does something wrong, and then everybody just begs you, "Mommy, sorry now. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, forgive. Mommy, leave him now. Mommy, don't beat him. Mommy, no. Mommy, this." And then you just say, "Don't do it again, no." This because the child just got away with it. And then you find that this thing leaves the home and he goes into the office, something, and you're supposed to send first warning. The staff now begs you, then goes ahead and calls their mother to beg you. And then their elder brother calls to beg you. And then you're asking yourself, is this supposed to be a corporate setting or not? Why is everybody in their village calling you to beg you for something that he did that officially is wrong? And then true to Niger spirit, by the time the mother begs you, you now say, okay, it's all right, don't worry, don't do it again. Guess what? You will do it again. And then get the whole village to beg you again. But you see abroad, the abroad that we like citing, If you do something, the law takes its natural course. You'll even find somebody who buys somebody, who unalive somebody, like the English we're speaking these days, unalive. Yes? You will find that somebody in their right senses will come and meet the judge and say, please now, it was a mistake, or this or that, and spin a story. And that story the person is spinning is that you should please be lenient to this person. Maybe if this person was supposed to go in for life, he said, no, please reduce it to 2 years or 3 years. He will be corrected. He will change. Emma Binu, Ndo, Emma Shanu me, please now help me. And by the time they do all that, you know what? Exactly. The next person gets emboldened, and the next person will do it and then send the community to come and beg. So we need to become people, laws that work, processes that work, system that works. Right? So that's what I'm going to say. Okay, thank you. Tobechuku says family independence for me is making sure love, not money, drives our decisions. Tobe, this sounds really very nice, but can you walk the streets of social media? All you hear these days is, I will never be poor. I will never be poor. I must make this money by fire, by force. Nobody's talking love. Even when people are, the comments you read under such